work across the entire collection in the museum, which means I know a little bit about a lot of things and a lot about only a very little. But one thing I do know is that museums by their very nature do not collect objects which celebrate the lives of the slothful, because the slothful are not the innovators, they are not the inventors, they are not the divas of fashion. Quite simply, sloth is the life of no party. So tonight, my tour of sloth in the collection is really more of a hunt for sloth in the collection. On the back wall here, we have holy figures from India, Tibet, China and Japan. They represent a range of cultures and belief systems, and together they are a wonderfully philosophical challenge to the Western idea of sloth. They look wonderfully old, don't they? But they are approximately 2,500 years newer than the Shabti we were just looking at in the Egyptian gallery. Above me and above you, sitting on a rock, which is also representative of a floating cloud, is a carved wooden lohan. Look at his eyes. They have jewels put in them so they sparkle as you walk by. A lohan is a holy man who has attained a stage of detachment through meditation in which desires and idle thoughts are virtually at a complete halt. He has reached a stage of enlightenment one step before these two figures, who are Bodhisattva. Now these figures as a whole are modelling spiritual excellence to us, spiritual excellence from the East. The Christian doctrine, which gave birth to the philosophy of the 7 deadly sins, emphasised the importance of labour, action and deeds. In stark contrast, these holy figures are not working. They are not doing deeds. They are not busy serving others. They are not imploring you to listen to them, and they are not demonstrating their spiritual earnestness in a socially measurable way. If you want to help the world, tongue twister, if you want to help the world, Buddhism says stop, not go. Buddhism says sit, not strive. Buddhism says empty yourself, whereas Christianity says fill yourself with the Holy Ghost. Buddhism's ultimate goal is nirvana, a word which literally translated means blown out, like blowing out a candle. But of course Christianity says burn, be a light in the darkness. Nirvana, to be blown out, is a transcendent state in which there is neither suffering, desire, nor a sense of self. It is the ultimate goal. Whereas Christians hope to be let through the pearly gates into an ideal heaven, these religious figures long to never meet another gate in their life. They long for a great, open nothingness. And they pursue this goal through meditation. They are attempting to completely empty their conscious mind. They're not just being emotionally inactive, as is the definition of sloth. They are trying to sever themselves completely from emotion. But anyone who has attempted this form of meditation will know it is a difficult task. Not moving, not feeling the pain in your legs as the blood stops to flow, losing sense of time, losing sense of hunger, not thinking thoughts. It is a supremely difficult pursuit. Few can do it, few can bear it, few have the discipline to take inactivity to this extraordinarily high level. Only skilled practitioners can harness nothingness to the point of transcendence. I guess the doctrine of sloth preached from pulpits in the Christian world just doesn't translate over into the East. Meditation seems to fit the technical definition of sloth, but in the face of meditation, it just seems inadequate. The more one looks for sloth in this museum, the harder it gets to find. Choosing to take a lift in the name of efficiency, practicality, or energy preservation just is too minor an offence to be called sloth. Magical slaves in the afterlife aren't really sloth because sloth is supposed to be a bad thing and magical slaves are just really neat.